Hello everybody, I'm the Masked YouTuber, and I watch YouTube videos so that you don't have to. Yeah, I stole that fucking intro. What are you gonna do about it? Cry, baby? Probably nothing. Now let's get on with the review. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the latest entry in the James Bond series of movies, No Time to Die. Now, I know a lot of people have already reviewed this movie, and quite frankly, I would be surprised if I got any clicks at all, considering number one, I only have 12 fucking subscribers, and number two, well, quite frankly, this movie has been reviewed to death. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people out there, they basically they reviewed this movie. Now, given the fact that I have to go into a lot of extreme detail, this is going to be a heavy spoiler review. So just let's put that on the screen right now. Spoilers, 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 heavy spoilers ahead. Now, with that being said, don't say you haven't been warned. Now, as I said, a lot of reviewers have reviewed this movie, and quite frankly, I'm shocked. I'm shaken. I can't believe the bullshit that I've been hearing out of these guys. It's like they're sucking this movie's dick. A lot of them have become Bond fanboys all of the sudden, even though there's a lot of things really wrong with this movie. And I'm going to go into that right now. Here's some of the guys who have sucked this movie's dick. You got this guy. There's this guy. There's this guy. And the one that really threw me through a loop was this guy. I mean, this guy, hold on, show the picture. This guy is a huge James Bond fan. I mean, his whole channel is based on James Bond. He says, "Good evening, Mr. Bond fans." I mean, come on, it don't get no more James Bondier than that. So, anyway, he gave it a really good review and he wasn't even objective. Now, I'm not saying this isn't a good movie. If it was a standalone movie on its own, I would probably give it an A minus. But as it stands, the only reviewer that had enough balls to say the right thing, to do the right thing, I should say, was Nerdrotic. That's right, this guy. Nerdrotic, I got to tell you, a lot of respect goes to him because when it comes to this movie review, he tells it like it is. He gives it to you straight. He don't throw no punches like some of these other assholes. But anyway, today is my time to shine. So I'm going to give my words on this movie. But first, I think I need to drink a shot of coffee with some Irish whiskey in it because it's going to take a lot of drinking to get through this movie. Speaking of drinking, I saw a guy, he was reviewing this movie and he got the bottle out and he's standing there saying, "I need this bottle to review this movie." And I thought because it was he was going to give it a terrible review and he needed the drink just to get through it. But no, apparently the guy's just a slush. Anyway, on to the review. All right, so let's start this review. First of all, the movie starts off with the gun barrel sequence, which I really like because we didn't get a whole lot of gun barrel sequence in the Daniel Craig era. In fact, I think the very first one was in the last movie, Spectre, and I think it came in at the end. I don't really remember. I guess I have to go back and watch that movie again. but everyone gives Spectre a whole lot of shit. But let me tell you something. I really like the movie Spectre. So, go fuck yourselves. Well, a movie shouldn't be so harsh. It did have its really effed up moments. Like there was a moment where we find out that James Bond and Blofeld are brothers. Brothers? Really? You guys are, it's so stupid. It's retarded. I hated that. It's like you guys realize you're ripping off Austin Powers, the Austin Power movies, which is a rip off of yourselves, which is parroting the James Bond movies. So in a way, you're parroting yourselves. What the hell's the matter with you guys? Who are these writers anyway? Oh boy, I really went on a small tangent there, didn't I? Well, anyway, getting back to the movie. So at the very beginning, we see that Bond is. Oh, wait, no. That's right. There is no Bond at the beginning of the movie because we get a flashback. Because now we have to have a reason for this movie's existence. A MacGuffin, if you will. So now we see Madeline, I don't know. Whatever her name is. I'm trying not to cuss so much, so don't get on my back, okay? So anyway, we see her as a small child, and apparently her mother's like a drugged out alcoholic of some sort who is borderline about to have child and family services come take her child away because she's asking her like 11-year-old little girl to get her another glass of wine or something, and then she's passed out on the couch. And then all of a sudden we see these assassins in like white, or a assassin in white mask show up. And he comes in the house and like, Madeline, whatever her name is, she tries to get to the freaking panic room, but the panic room's not opening, so she can't get in there. And guess what? This guy totally fucks up the house. He kills her mom and tries to kill her, but she escapes. She gets out onto the ice. And for some reason, and I don't know why, because it looks pretty solid to me, and I don't think this little 11-year-old girl could crack the ice, but okay, so she cracks the ice, falls through it, and instead of killing her, he shoots around the ice, cracks the ice, dips in, and saves her, which is pretty fucking stupid if you ask me, excuse my language, but goddamn, man. You got the family, like you got the whole entire family, and you mean to tell me you're not going to kill the little girl? Yeah, it's pretty damn harsh, granted, but you're a villain. Dude, villains do villainy things. Anyway, so it turns out that the little girl is, in fact, Madeline. Madeline? I don't know. The woman from Spectre, the James Bond love interest from Spectre. So apparently it's I don't know how many years later. I guess they say present day, but it's not the present day. I don't know. So they say present day, and then here's James Bond. He's apparently sleeping with what's her name, and then like all of a sudden he sees these people burning notes, and he asks this priest guy, dude, what's with the burning notes? And the priest guy's like, oh, those are secrets. He's like, oh, okay, cool. And then Madeline, or whatever her name is, she gets up, she's half naked. Of course, they've been fooling around and stuff like that. She gets up, burns a note. And James Bond is like, hey, what's with the note? She's like, well, that's none of your business for right now. Maybe I'll tell you later. Okay. Two things. First of all, this James Bond is more emotional than I've ever seen him. Like in the first one, I kind of get it. It's Casino Royale. He's emotional in that one too, kind of. But he's just getting started. He's just getting used to killing people. And we see that he sort of numbs himself by drinking all the time. And that's how he gets over the idea of killing people, because he does feel bad for killing people. So he drinks to numb his emotions. But then after that, why is he getting emotional all of a sudden? Oh my God, I need to have a family. I'm so lonely. I have tragedies in my life. dude, if you got that much emotion, maybe you shouldn't be on MI6, if you know what I mean. But he is retired, so that does explain, where the emotions or whatever. So anyway, she tells him about what was her name, Nesba, whatever the fuck her name was. I don't really keep track of names. She's like, man, maybe you should like get over her already. It's been several years now. He's like, dude, that's a good idea. So he goes to the gravesite to visit good old what's her name. And then he bends down and he picks up this card, and oh my god, it's Spectre. It's got the Spectre logo on it. And as soon as he picks up the Spectre logo, the whole cemetery gets blown to shit, like boom. He goes flying, gets knocked down, and then he has that weird ear moment. You know, the ear moment that Archer has whenever bullets are shot around. It goes, because I believe after being shot around the ears so many times and getting blown up so many times, now James Bond has the same sort of disease, tendonitis or whatever. So anyway, this happens, and then he goes back to the hotel and he tells her, "Hey man, what the fuck is up with you?" And she's like, "Huh? What do you mean? What's up with me?" And he's like, "What kind of secrets you been keeping, bitch? Because I know that you're not who you claim to be so far. So what you say?" And she's like, "Well, there's something I got to tell you." He's like, "Well, duh." And then but before she could even say anything, like a bunch of shit happens, and then all hell breaks loose. And then there's this awesome car chase, and then there's a motorcycle chase, and he chases this guy down. And then this dude has a bionic eye, right? And he's got the bionic eye, and apparently this eye is connected to a big computer somewhere that we don't know yet. But anyway, this big chase scene, and then he's in the car with her, and he's pissed, obviously, because she's been lying to him this whole time. And then they're in the car together. It's SD Martin. I'm like, all right, we got the SD Martin in this one. Okay, cool. And then I think it's the original one from Goldfinger. I'm not sure, but anyway, so they get in there and they're like, well, here's the scene right here. It's playing out. So these dudes start shooting at the car, and of course it's bulletproof glass. And Bond knows this, and the whole car's bulletproof, and he knows it. But she doesn't really. Well, I guess she knows it, but she doesn't seem to know because she keeps flinching. But Bond's so used to it, he's a cool, tough guy, so he's used to it and doesn't have any reservations about it whatsoever. So he's just sitting there all cool like, and they're getting shot, boom, 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 several times. And he's confronting her, and then finally, he says, "All right, fuck it, I'm going to protect your ass." So he circles the car around, the machine guns, zip, all the way around. And then he's got the smoke. So he turns on the smoke and and then they get away. And then let's see here. What else happens? Oh yeah, some shit happens. And then that's it. That's it. So then, oh yeah, I forgot to say, he sees her off on this train, and she says, "When are we going to meet again?" And he's like, "Bye, Felicia." And then she touches her belly, and I couldn't figure out why she touched her belly until later. Spoiler alert, which we're doing spoiler alerts, by the way. She's pregnant. Yeah, she's pregnant. And then it turns out to be his kid, of course, which we don't find out, of course, until the end of the movie. But then so he says, "Bye, Felicia." And then 5 years pass, which I just mentioned, and I forgot to mention this beginning. But anyway, 5 years passed, and then he meets Felix Leiter in a bar. And Felix is like, "Hey, Bond, I need you to go on this mission." Bond's like, "Sure thing, buddy." But then there's this laughing jackass who I just knew was going to be the traitor in the movie, like he was going to be a double agent or something like that. So then there's this scientist dude, right? There's this weird, crazy scientist dude. And to me, he's sort of like the comic relief of the whole movie. Although I think the guy with the googly eye kind of is the comic relief of the whole movie, if you ask me. But anyway, so he goes into this bar or whatever and meets up with this dude. And all of a sudden, like, he meets up with this chick, right? The chick gives him a tuxedo and everything. And she says, "Oh, this is strictly professional. We're not going to have sex or anything." Well, she doesn't really say that, but that's sort of like just me watching the movie and seeing that that's what's happening. And then he bumps into a secret agent. She doesn't say much. They just sort of have a light conversation. But we later find out that this is the new 007. Yes, 007. 007. She couldn't choose like a different, they couldn't assign her a different number like 008 or 009. I mean, is 007 the only 00 numbers they have down there at MI6? I don't know. Anyway, so now this movie proves that 007 is just a code name, or maybe James Bond is just a code name, as you'll see later. So he goes on this mission and he's in the room, and then all of a sudden we hear Blofeld. So apparently it's this big party for Spectre. It's Blofeld's birthday. And so they're having this party, and all Spectre is there. And then Blofeld's like, "Okay, now, don't worry, everybody. I'm only going to kill James Bond." So, yeah, he unleashes this, I guess it's gas or whatever, but instead of it hitting Bond, it triggers all of Spectre and it kills the entire Spectre organization, which is strange. I don't know why they would just go ahead and kill the entire Spectre organization, but that happens. And then let's see here. Ooh, man, there's still a lot of this movie yet to go. So then I'm just going to summarize the movie and just kind of break it down for you. So there's this virus, right? There's this virus, and it turns out that the virus was implemented by none other than MI6's head dude, M. Yes, M created this virus, which works just on genetics. I'm not quite sure how it works, but it's on genetics. And by the way, the opening credits, the opening title sequence kicks in 20 minutes into this fucking movie. 20 fucking minutes into the movie. No one talks about that, but it does happen. This movie, I mean, I watched it 2 different times. The first time I watched it, I couldn't hardly keep focused. It was so boring to me. It took so long to get to the opening sequence credits. I was looking down at my phone, watching other shit while watching this damn movie. That's how bad it was. Well, there you go. You see, I didn't watch it in movie theaters. Oh, man. I really went on a rant there, didn't I? Well, the pacing is slow. The ending is horrible. The plot is just so. And, James Bond, he's not James Bond in here. It just seems like Daniel Craig sort of running through the motions. And then you've got the black 007 chick. I can't even think of her name. That's how much I care about her. She's barely in the movie. And when she is in the movie, I mean, it's not awfully horrible. She is a pretty good double agent. But I just don't understand why they needed her in this movie at all. I mean, she really does nothing. There's no contribution to it. So anyway, I think I'm missing a lot of really good points here. So the guy, the assassin at the beginning of the movie, turns out that his entire family was killed by Spectre. And that Mr. Green guy that we saw in Spectre and we saw in the other prior James Bond, Daniel Craig movies, turns out that Madeline is his daughter. Like he talks about her, and so they're all drawing back to that's his daughter, and he had some other kids that was killed, and his entire family was killed by this guy, this assassin dude. So this assassin dude who wears the funky mask, I mean, just look at this mask. It's creepy, for crying out loud. I mean, is this a horror movie or a James Bond movie? Figure it out. I don't know. But anyway, so, I really have no time to talk about No Time to Die. I really will sum it up for you in just a few short words. So we get down to the ending. Basically, James Bond is the virus can only be done through genetics. So what happens? Madeline, or whatever her name is, she has the virus inside of her. It was injected into her, and her orders was to get over to Blofeld. They got Blofeld in this prison, like a glass prison, kind of like you see on Silence of the Lambs. And Austin Powers, so she can't get to him. She says she backs out. She doesn't want to do it. So James Bond comes up to her and grabs her on the wrist. And when he does this, he ends up contracting the virus. So now the virus is tied to his DNA. So it's at this point he realizes that he can no longer touch her, her daughter, or anyone with his genetic DNA, or they will die. They will get this disease, whatever it is, and they will die. So, anyway, the pacing of this movie was slow. It took 20 minutes to get to the title sequence. The plot device was kind of dumb. The James Bond was too emotional. He wasn't the James Bond that we're used to. And then we get this new 007, which is horrible. And there's a scene with Q. Everyone says that they showed the scene with Q. They said that they made Q gay or something. Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of cats in his house, and I guess he had a date. I didn't remember him saying a guy was coming over, but I don't know. I guess that's just me. A lot of reviewers said that they made him out to be gay or something. I don't know. But anyway, so that's basically a summary of the movie. Neurotic does a much better review than I do. So if you want to see a really good No Time to Die review, take a look at Neurotic's channel. He does a really good job with it. But since this is a spoiler review, and I did promise you heavy spoilers, so it's at the end of the movie. They're at the lab and they have to destroy the virus. So he's got all these bombs set up in the thing, but there are not enough bombs to destroy the entire facility. So then a missile strike has to come in. But the missile strike can't come in unless he opens like some kind of door, like a bomb bay door or something like that. He's got to do that. So, oh, and by the way, Felix Leiter gets killed. He gets killed in this one. So then yeah, he drowns. So that's the end of our Felix Leiter character. I guess he's not going to be in any other subsequent James Bond movies. And by the way, since this is Daniel Craig's last entry in the James Bond film, he dies too. That's right. He dies. He shuts down the virus. He opens the bomb bay doors, and then then the airstrikes start coming in, and all these missiles start coming in from the United States and Canada and Russia and whoever. They all start sending missiles. Oh, and by the way, Spectre, Blofeld dies in this too, because what happens is not Nespa, that was the original. Madeline, she touches James Bond's wrist. He gets the virus, and then he's interrogating Blofeld. And as he's interrogating Blofeld makes him so pissed off that he goes and he grabs him and gets him around the throat, starts strangling him to the point where he almost kills him, but doesn't. But then guess what? Plot twist, he dies anyway because he contracts the virus. Oh, man. These little tiny rants are going to cause me to have a heart attack. You may not see me do another video. Who knows? But anyway, so then all of these missiles start coming in, And James Bond has, by the way, enough time to get the hell out of there. But for some reason, because of emotions, he doesn't want to leave. He knows he can't touch his daughter, he can't touch his wife, blah, blah, blah. The movie sets it up. So basically, the only way the man can have a happy existence is if he dies. So he stands there and just looks up towards the sky, raises his arms, and here comes all the missiles down on top. James Bond dies. James Bond dies in a James Bond movie. Does that need repeating? James Bond dies in a James Bond movie. So then at the end of the movie, they're all circled around. They're talking about James Bond, and they quote something from Shakespeare. I forget who, or Oscar Wilde. I don't know which one. But anyway, so now the black lady, I don't remember her name. She's the new 007. So there you go. There you have it. The James Bond franchise is dead, and it's all over with. And everyone's giving it such great reviews, right? Like totally awesome. Oh, that's awesome, dude. They just killed the whole entire franchise. But I love this movie. This is such a good movie. Oh my God. This is the best James Bond movie ever. Oh, really? Really? I think that they're just blinded by how good the visuals were and the stunt work and the action sequences and stuff like that, that they're too afraid to realize the pacing was slow. The ending sucked. Everyone dies in this movie. All the males die in this movie. Isn't that just great? James Bond dies, Felix Leiter dies, Blofeld dies. Um, uh, uh, um, I guess Q is still alive. Q, Moneypenny, um, and the new 007, and of course M, all still live. They're all alive. And even the bad, well, she's not a bad guy, but good old what's her name, Madeline, or whatever her name is, she lives. So you got the you hate me for saying that, but it's just so weird that the main character, a white male, a white masculine male, dies, and all these other subpar characters that have sort of like a wokeness to them. You see what I'm saying? Uh, they all live. They all live. They all have a wokeness to them, and they all live. Whether it be female, black, gay, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You get the point. Seems like they purposely did that in this movie. And it was in articles at the very beginning when they first shot this movie. Now, I have a feeling there might have been, more wokeness in this film when they started production. And then when production was delayed due to the what virus, they may have made some changes to make it not so woke. But there still is a lot of wokeness in this movie. Let's not kid ourselves here. But anyway, that's my review on No Time to Die. To be a better send off. And by the way, at the very end of the movie, the film has a text scroll that says James Bond will return. So if James Bond is going to return, then why the hell did you kill him off, you fucking morons? I mean, Daniel Craig could have exited James Bond without James Bond actually dying, is what I'm saying. So in the end, do I recommend this movie? Kind of. I mean, if you are interested to see how the Daniel Craig era does end, it does go out with a bang, pardon the pun, but that is how it ends. And as far as a movie goes, it's a really good movie. I'm not gonna lie. I just didn't like it as far as a James Bond movie goes. Hell no. It fucking sucks. The plot doesn't make sense. Blofeld doesn't make sense. All the gratuitous killings don't make sense. None of it makes sense. MI6 would have never developed this virus. It's all just bullshit. And some of the guys who gave this review, kissy kiss and huggy hug. Well, those guys are assholes. Speaking of assholes, come in closer. Come here. You know, not everybody is an asshole, but everyone has an asshole, and you know what the fuck comes out of those. So until next time, please remember, What's that? What do you mean all the James Bond movies are not playing on Pluto TV? Why, you stupid, crazy, no good for nothing son of a bitch, I ought to have you. And don't forget to check out Neurotic's review of No Time to Die. It really is the best one out there. All right, see you next time. Goodbye, everybody. For more videos, subscribe to me if you haven't done that already. I have new videos each and every week, and they get more and more intense as they get along. And give that video a thumbs up. In fact, smash that thumbs up. Wait, no. Forget it. You know what to do. Or at least I hope you do. See you next time. Idiot. Just kidding. You guys are awesome.